Picture this, the Camp Nou, El Clasico, La Liga title on the line, and the man who scores the free kick that wins it all is a Manchester United player. Let that sit for a second. A man who was frozen out, told not to come back to pre-season, put in the bomb squad, publicly humiliated in the press. That man, Marcus Rashford, bent a free kick past Thibaut Courtois in front of 80,000 people against Real Madrid and won Barcelona the La Liga title. And then, in the middle of the celebrations, in the middle of all of that chaos and joy and history being made, he stopped to reply to a 15-year-old boy back in Manchester. 2 words. Next up, I need to talk about this, because this story, if you actually look at all of it, not just the surface, this story is about so much more than a free kick. If you're new here, I'm Bella. This is Bella Mufc Analysis, where we don't read headlines, we break them apart, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because the kind of content we're getting into today, this is why this channel exists. Hit the like button too, it genuinely helps, and then come back to me because I'm just getting started. Right, let's talk about what actually happened on Sunday night. Barcelona beat Real Madrid 2-0, Ferran Torres got the second, but the first, the one that set the tone for the entire night, was Rashford. And I want to be really specific here because the detail matters. It wasn't a tap-in, it wasn't a lucky deflection. It was a free kick that bent past one of the best goalkeepers in the world into the far corner in a stadium that was already shaking before the ball had even crossed the line. Now look, I've watched Marcus Rashford for years. I've defended him when people wanted him out. I've been frustrated with him when he wasn't performing. I felt all of it. And I genuinely believe that the version of Rashford we saw at the Camp Nou this season is the version we always knew was in there, the version Manchester United just couldn't unlock. And that's the part that stings. A little, not a lot, but a little, because he's not injured, he's not out of form, he's not struggling to adapt to a new league. He is thriving. 14 goals, 14 assists, 28 goal involvements in one season, under a new manager, in a new country, in a new language, in one of the most demanding football environments on the planet. And here's what I want you to really think about. Hansi Flick didn't reinvent Rashford. He didn't change his position. He didn't build an entire system around him. What Flick did, and this is the tactical bit that I think gets completely overlooked, is he gave Rashford a team where the pressure didn't all land on one man. Think about how United used to. At his worst periods at Old Trafford, Rashford was expected to be the creative spark, the finisher, the pressing trigger, and the outlet all at once. The team was often so disjointed behind him that everything funneled through him as the only recognisable attacking threat. And when it didn't come off, which it won't because that's an impossible ask, the criticism came down on him personally. At Barcelona, Rafinha is the heartbeat of the attack. Lamine Yamal is doing things that shouldn't be possible at his age. Dani Olmo is linking everything together in the pocket. Rashford doesn't have to carry anything, he has to contribute. And there is a massive difference between those two things. When a player carries, the weight shows. When a player contributes, the quality shows. And the quality has been showing all season. But here's the part nobody is really focusing on, the transfer situation, because it is messier than people think. On the surface, it looks simple. Barcelona have a €30 million buy option. Rashford wants to stay, United want to sell, everyone's happy, deal done, except it's not done. And the reason it's not done is actually fascinating and a little bit painful if you're a United fan who's tired of things being complicated. Barcelona want to pay the $30 million in 3 instalments, $10 million a year across 3 years. United agreed to that structure back in February. Personal terms were agreed in principle, 3-year contract, significant wage reduction, that was all done. So what's the problem? The wages. When Rashford moved to Barcelona on loan, he took a massive pay cut. He went from earning around £300,000 a week at United down to roughly £166,000 a week. He swallowed that to make the move happen. He wanted it that badly. But here's where it gets complicated. Manchester United are currently sitting 3rd in the Premier League. That means they're set to qualify for the Champions League, and when United qualify for the Champions League, the salary cuts that were applied to players last season, a 25% reduction across the board after they missed out, those get reversed. So Rashford's wage, even though he's not at Old Trafford, contractually increases. And that number, the restored number, is one that Barcelona's financial department has flagged as a serious problem because La Liga's financial fair play rules are strict. Barcelona are still operating under restrictions, and fitting a higher wage Rashford into a 3 or 4 year contract within those limits is genuinely complicated. Think about what that means. United qualifying for the Champions League, which is a good thing for the club, could actually be the thing that makes it harder for Barcelona to keep the player United desperately want to sell. Tell me that's not a very Manchester United way for things to unfold. Now, Arsenal. Because I can't do this video and not talk about Arsenal. Reports have come out in the last few days that Arsenal are showing interest in Rashford. They want to upgrade their left-wing option as they see him as a genuine option this summer. And look, I have to be honest here. Part of me, and I don't love admitting this, part of me thinks that would actually suit Rashford's game under Arteta's system, with the ball moving the way it does, with runners in behind, with a proper structure. But then I think about selling Marcus Rashford to Arsenal, a Manchester United academy product, straight to our rivals, and no, I can't. I don't care how sensible it looks on paper. There are some things that just feel wrong, and that is one of them. More importantly though, Rashford has been very clear. He wants Barcelona. He said it after the game. He said it looking straight into the camera. If I was a magician, I'd stay, because that's not someone keeping his options open. That's someone who's found a home, and that matters. Because when a player is genuinely happy somewhere, when they're performing at that level, when they've won a league title and scored the goal that decided it, you don't leave that lightly. You fight for it. The question is whether Barcelona will fight for it with him. Right, let me drop something into this conversation that I've seen basically zero discussion about. Ansu Fati has been on loan at Monaco this season, and Monaco are working on making that deal permanent. Now, on the surface, that's just a transfer story about a different player, but there is a direct line between Ansu Fati completing a permanent move to Monaco and Marcus Rashford staying at Barcelona. Here's why. If Monaco pay a permanent fee for Ansu, reports suggest around 11 million euros, that money lands in Barcelona's account. And 11 million euros towards a 10 million euro first instalment on Rashford's purchase clause is not nothing. That's the first payment effectively covered. But it's not just the money. If Ansu Fati leaves permanently, Barcelona lose their most obvious like-for-like alternative to Rashford on the left wing. Ansu is the fullback. He's the budget option. He's the one you could bring back if the Rashford deal collapsed. If he's gone, permanently gone, the pressure to keep Rashford increases. Because now you don't have a plan B waiting in the reserves. You have Easy Abde at Real Betis as an alternative. You have Andreas Schelderup at Benfica as a prospect. Neither of those is a ready-made solution for a team that just won La Liga and wants to compete for everything next season. So the Ansu Fati deal isn't just a Monaco story. It is directly linked to what happens with Rashford this summer. These two things are connected, and I find it really interesting that no one is joining those dots. Let me ask you something. If you were Marcus Rashford right now at 28 years old, coming off your best season in years, having just won La Liga, having just scored in El Clasico, what would you do? Would you go to Arsenal? Where you'd be good, probably, but where you'd be playing in your home country under a constant microscope, representing a team that a huge part of your identity has always been against. Would you go back to United, where Ruben Amorim told you not to return to pre-season, where the relationship is, let's be honest, irreparably broken? Or would you stay at Barcelona, where you're loved, where the system works for you, where you've just made history as the first Englishman to win La Liga in 41 years? For me, the answer is obvious. And I think the answer is obvious for Rashford too. The only thing standing between him and staying is money. And that's not a football problem. That's a boardroom problem, which means it can be solved. Now, I want to shift gears because there's another part of this story that I think is actually the most beautiful part of the whole thing. And it's a 15-year-old boy called JJ Gabriel. If you don't know who JJ Gabriel is, first of all, where have you been? But let me give you the facts quickly. Born in October 2010. He's 15 years old. He is currently playing for Manchester United's under-18s. He has 27 goal contributions in 26 matches this season, 27 in 26 games at 15. And he's not just a goal machine. He's got the football intelligence of someone who's been playing senior football for years. His movement, his angles, his composure in tight spaces. This is not a normal 15-year-old footballer. This is something different. He was given shirt number 95 at United and allowed to train with the first team this season. Real Madrid are watching him. Real Madrid, a club that doesn't waste time on players who aren't genuinely elite. He was nicknamed Kid Messi at 9 years old after a viral video. Nike signed him to a sponsorship deal at 14. He became the youngest player ever to play for United's under-18s, scoring twice on debut at 14 years old. And last year, it was a 14-year-old JJ Gabriel scoring on his under-18 debut. This year, it's the same kid who commented on Rashford's Instagram, just one word, top. And Rashford, in the middle of winning La Liga, in the middle of a Barcelona title parade, with all of that noise and celebration around him, he saw it. He responded. 2 words, next up. I'm not being dramatic when I say this moved me a little bit, because I understand what that means within a football club. A senior player, especially one who has been through everything Rashford has been through, taking a moment to acknowledge a teenager coming through, that's not nothing, that's a message, not just to Gabriel, to everyone watching. This kid is real. This kid is next. Get ready. But here's the layer underneath that, and this is where it gets really interesting for us as United fans. United are planning to include JJ Gabriel in their pre-season tour this summer. The idea is to show him that there is a pathway to the first team, that he doesn't need to leave, that what happened with Rashford, a homegrown player feeling pushed out, not trusted, eventually loaned abroad, that doesn't have to happen to him. And I think that's smart. I genuinely think that's smart, because right now JJ Gabriel is 15. He has everything ahead of him, and there are clubs, Real Madrid being one, who will come for him at some point, who will promise him first-team football, guaranteed pathways, more money than United can offer a teenager. The only way you keep a player like that is by making them feel like they belong, like they have a future at the club, like they're not just a number in an academy system, they're the future of the first team. Letting him train with the first team, including him in pre-season, these are signals, and they need to be real signals, not PR gestures, because here's the reality. If Gabriel continues on this trajectory, and everything we've seen suggests he will, he could be the best player Manchester United have produced since. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but the comparisons people are making are not small comparisons. And losing him, the way United have lost other academy talents over the years, would be a mistake this club cannot afford to make again. Which brings me to something bigger. Something I think about a lot with this club. There's a generational thing happening right now at Manchester United, and most people aren't framing it that way. On one side, you have Rashford, an academy product, came through the system, gave years of his life to this club, and ultimately, whether you blame him, blame the managers, blame the ownership, blame all three, it didn't end the way anyone wanted. He's gone, he's winning La Liga medals, he's happy somewhere else. On the other side, you have Gabriel just starting, the next one, the one everyone is talking about in the same excited whispers that people used to talk about Rashford when he was coming through. And the connection between them, that tiny moment on Instagram, is genuinely symbolic. The outgoing one saying to the incoming one, you're next, keep going. For me, the question United need to be asking themselves right now is, what are we going to do differently? What are we going to do so that in 10 years we're not doing a video about JJ Gabriel winning trophies somewhere in Spain while everyone talks about how United missed another one? Because we've been here before, too many times. Let me tell you what I want to see. I want United to sort the Rashford situation cleanly. Take the 30 million, structured payments are fine. Let him go and be happy. He's earned that. He's given this club a lot, and the ending was ugly, but the chapter at Barcelona has reminded everyone what Rashford actually is as a footballer. And I want United to look at that. Really look at it and ask the hard question. Did they develop him properly? Did they protect him properly? Did they build the right team around him? Because the answer, if you're being completely honest, is no, not always. And if the answer is no, then you take that lesson into how you handle the next generation. You apply it to Gabriel. You apply it to every kid coming through that academy, because talent is not rare. Talent at the level we're talking about, the Gabriel level, is extraordinarily rare. And when you find it, you cannot waste it. One more thing before I wrap this up. Rashford said something after the Real Madrid game that I keep coming back to. He said, I came here to win. I want to win as many things as I can. Not, I came here for the money. Not, I came here for the lifestyle. Not even, I came here to prove people wrong. I came here to win. That is the Rashford that people forget about. The one who scored twice on his debut for United as an 18-year-old against Midtjylland. The one who scored in his first Premier League game. The one who scored in his first Manchester derby, the one who scored in his first game for England at 18-year-old. That player never went away. The environment around him just made it impossible to see him clearly. And now, at Barcelona, the environment is right. The manager believes in him, the team works for him, and he's showing everyone exactly who he is. I don't have anger about that, not really. What I feel is something more like clarity about what happens when a player is in the right place. And what happens when he isn't? So, where does this all end? For Rashford, I think he stays at Barcelona. I think the financial stuff gets worked out. Barcelona are not going to let the player who scored the title-winning goal in El Clasico walk out the door because of a wage structure complication. There will be a solution. There always is when both sides want it enough. For JJ Gabriel, I think the next 12 months are critical. Pre-season will tell us a lot. How United use him, what they say publicly, whether the pathway they're promising him is real. And for Manchester United, I think this is a moment. A chance to show that the club actually learns from its mistakes, that the Rashford story, with all its complications, led to something, a better understanding of how to develop and protect a player. Because if Gabriel ends up in a Barcelona shirt in 10 years talking about finding a home, then nothing has changed, and I am done watching nothing change. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think Barcelona will pull the Rashford deal off permanently? And what do you make of JJ Gabriel? Is the hype real or is it too early? I read every single comment. I will be in there. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, subscribe. And if you've been here a while, thank you genuinely. This channel is built on people who actually care about football and actually care about this club. Until next time.